Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. हाँ नहीं हमें आरथर ये चैप्टर टा सार दी छे देखो चलिए आरथर वीडियो एटा पेज नंबर 43 हमें सारी दी छे ताले आरथर तो टुवर्ड्स अ पीसफुल सोसाइटी हमें पढ़ी थिले जे हाउ ए हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र रो चैंटिंग ए जो modern society रे even though we may not be able to do so many other things, if we can just, in essence, the method is we simply have to chant. We need only chant Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Follow the regulative principles mentioned before. By following the regulative principles, we'll be avoiding the four types of sinful life. And by chanting Mahamantra, we'll be associating with God constantly. Thus, there will be peace among all classes of men. So this is the simple formula which Srila Prabhupada want to give us. How to make a peaceful society. So now we'll read Knowing Krishna as He is. It is another interesting chapter which we must read, and it is the fourth chapter in this book, Elevation to Krishna Consciousness. We do not need any high qualification to offer prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever our social or intellectual position may be, we can offer prayers. We do not have to be very learned or very scholarly, nor do we have to present our prayers in nicely selected words that are poetical, rhetorical, or metaphorical. None of this is required, although if it is there, it is very nice. We simply have to express our feelings, but in order to be able to do this, we have to be aware of our position. Once we are aware of our position, our feelings can be expressed sincerely and automatically. So here Srila Prabhupada is very nicely explaining about how to pray. First of all, to know Krishna as He is the most difficult thing in the world, because even Krishna himself cannot know who is He. That's why He comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To release this love of Krishna, He comes as the greatest devotee. He comes to release this, to taste this, to know this. So if He himself, being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, cannot know who is He, then how can we do anything? We get any information. Just by merely getting some information, we'll gather something. But Krishna is unlimited. Whatever information we may gather about Him, it is unlimited. We cannot just collect information and say that we know Krishna. No, we cannot know like that. Because it is said that Ananta says is glorifying Krishna in his Ananta, or thousands of fangs. And till date, He has not repeated any of the pastimes which He had told earlier. And till date, He is glorifying. So to glorify Krishna, as many tongues we get, as many books we have, it is still limited. In that connection, we must know that our Goswamis have written so many scriptures, and Sanatana Goswami, especially when he knew that Kali Yuga people cannot be able to understand this, so he gave Samadhi personally to all his books. Most of his books, not all. Only he kept a few books which are most important for us, like Hari Bhakti Vilas and few others. So To know Krishna is difficult. That's why we have to pray. And this prayer, Prabhupada is saying that we don't need to be very scholarly, or we need not be very learned. So what we need to be, most important thing is we simply need to express our feelings. And in order to express our feelings, we have to be understanding, aware of our position. Because if we know our position, Prabhupada is saying that we can express it naturally. And it should be natural. Now, Krishna will say, Prabhupada will say, what should be our position? Next question is, what should be our position? Or what position we should place ourselves so that we can know Krishna or pray Krishna or share our feelings. To share our feelings, we need to know our position. What is that position? This has been taught by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who teaches us how to pray in his prayer. He himself has taught what to pray. So this is the best prayer. Just see. Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmani share bhavatat bhakti rahe tukhi tvai. Says, Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor have I any desire to enjoy beautiful women. Nor do I want any number of followers. What I want is only that I may have your pauseless devotional service in my life, birth after birth. So he doesn't want anything. He does not want wealth. He does not want to enjoy beautiful women. He does not want to have followers or disciples. So what he wants is devotional service. He does not even want mukti. He wants to serve birth after birth. So this is a devotee's prayer. Nothing other than devotional service is asking for from Krishna. So what he is praying, let us first understand. Naturally, we will be shocked that we cannot pray like this because we are not at that stage. So first, let us understand what he is praying. In this prayer, the word Jagadish means Lord of the universe. Now Jagadisa Kankshit, that which is told earlier. Jagat means universe and each means Lord. Whether we are Hindu, Muslim or Christian or whatever, we must acknowledge that there is a supreme controller of this universe. This cannot be denied by anyone who has faith in God. It's saying that there must be a supreme controller. Jagdish means what? Supreme controller. Nobody can deny. Our conviction should be that our supreme friend is Jagdish, or Lord of the entire universe. Only Lord Jagdish is in control. Everyone else is controlled. The atheists, however, do not like this term because they like to think that they are in control. But because actually this is not the case. Nobody wants to be controlled, but actually everybody is controlled. Why? Because Lord Jagdish is the supreme personality of God. And all beings in the material world are subject to three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. But the supreme Lord is above these modes. We know the famous verse, Namam Karmani Limpanti. So that verse Prabhupada will give here. That how we know that Lord Jagdish is beyond, is not controlled, but he is controlling us. Okay. Oh, Prabhupada is saying another verse. Oh, sorry, Namam Karmani Limpanti. No, that is not right verse. This is the right. So here is saying, Trivir Gunamay Bhavai Evi Sarvamitam Jagat Mohitam Nabhijanati Mam Epya Paramapya. Saying, deluded by the three modes, the whole world does not know me, who I am above, that I am above these modes and inexhaustible. So that Krishna says that I am above these modes. by getting entangled in these modes, we are not able to understand Krishna. So suppose we all have read one scale, vernier scale. There is a scale, vernier scale in physics lab we must have read. So in that scale, in that experiment, physics experiments, we saw that if we have errors, if the instrument has error, then the error will come in the calculation. So that's why some error is also added, you know, with it. Some error will be there. So similarly, like if I wear a blue glass, so the world will be looking blue to me. You know? So similarly, if I have some error in my vision, then it will appear in the observation. You know? So that's why he's saying that if I am under the modes, how I can see somebody who is beyond the modes? We cannot see that. Like the same way Prabhupada is saying, at many lectures you'll see Prabhupada says that we are made of earth primarily. So how can we see something made of fire? There are living entities in the sun. That's otherwise, how could Krishna give the knowledge to sun god Vivaswan? He gave the knowledge to Vivaswan, but we are not able to see that there are living entities in the sun, only because we cannot perceive them, but they exist. In fire also there are living entities, Prabhupada said. Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Jiva can be present everywhere. Jiva Bhuta Sanatan. The Brahma Samhita also gives us information regarding Jagdish, the Supreme. In that work, Lord Brahma says that the Supreme Controller is Lord Krishna himself, Ishvara Parama Krishna. The word Ishvara means controller, and the word Parama means Supreme. All of us are controllers to some limited extent. If we have nothing to control, sometimes we keep a dog or cat. So we can say, my dear dog, please come here. In this way, we can think, I am the controller. So this is the disease. We are accustomed to say this line, I am the controller. That's why if nobody is there, although we are controlled, still if nobody is there, we want to keep some pet dogs or pet cats and tell that we are their controllers at least. Sometimes the tables turn, however, and we find that the dog controls the master. Prabhupada is saying, it doesn't happen that if we keep the dog, we cannot say that all the time, I am the controller. No, dog also controls. How? Prabhupada is saying. This happens because actually no one is controller and everyone is controlled. How dog controls us? We know that when we are walking on the road with the dog, if the dog has to do potty, then we have to make arrangements. We have to keep polythenes so that he doesn't do it on the road. And if the road is made dirty, then we are going to be charged fine for it. That's why we are not controlling. Sometimes he also controls us. Sometimes he barks. You have to go and take care of him. Sometimes he will pull you when you are walking. So naturally, we cannot control everyone at all times also. So this happens because no one is actually controlled. All are actually controlled. Unfortunately, so the main thing Prabhupada is saying, unfortunately, we are forgetful of this situation that we are all controlled. And this forgetful situation is called Maya. So what is Maya? Maya means to forget that we are the controllers. We are controlled. To forget that we are controlled is a condition of being in Maya. We refuse to accept any control of this universe because if we accept a controller, we have to account for our sinful activity. Just as when we accept the government, we have to account for our unlawful activities. So our position is that we want to continue in our sinful activity, and therefore we deny the existence of a controller. Because we want to do as we are doing in our past. Whatever in our past sinful activity we were doing, now also we want to continue. That's why we want to deny. So this is the basic principle of godlessness. Godlessness means this. The current propaganda that God is dead is spread because people want to continue being rascals without restriction. This is the basic principle underlying the denials of God existence. So what's the basic principle? They simply say, mad people, they say that God is dead because they want to do whatever in the name of God now. So God does not exist, then we can do whatever we want. But however much they deny his existence, he will not die. God will not die. In this regard, there is a Bengali proverb that says, Shokuni shape goru mora. This is a very nice anecdote Prabhupada gives. The Prabhupada says that suppose a vulture is there. The vulture, if there is no food around, what he'll do? He will curse. He'll curse the cow. That, oh, you useless cow, why don't you die? You're of no use. So if the vulture will curse the cow, will the cow die out of that? No. So similarly, Prabhupada is saying that if fools will say that God is dead, will that happen? No. Prabhupada is saying, Sakuni means vulture. Vultures enjoy dead animals. Dead animal carcasses, especially the carcass of the cow. Sometimes a vulture may go for days without a carcass. Therefore, this proverb says that a vulture curses the cow, wishing him to die. But this does not mean that the cow will die just to oblige the vulture. Similarly, these atheistic vultures want to see God dead. So they can take pleasure in thinking, now God is dead and I can do anything I like. So just they want to take pleasure, and that's why they are saying, God is dead. But that's not the case. That's not going to happen. One more paragraph. We must know then for certain that there is a controller that is the beginning of knowledge. Why should we deny this truth? In every field of activity, find some finite controller. So how can we deny the existence of an infinite controller in this creation? Everywhere there is controller. So if this finite thing has controller, so how can we deny that so great, so big thing has no controller? If it is not without reason, therefore that Lord Chaitanya, Mahaprabhu particularly uses this word Jagdish, the Lord of the universe. He does not manufacture the term, for it is found in different Vedic mantras. Mahaprabhu also, you see, he never just used something of his own. He is also quoting scriptures. This word Jagdish is also there in scriptures, Vedic mantras. So what is the mantra in which Jagdish you will find? Prabhupada is quoting the Narsingha mantra. Tava kara kamala varena kamatputa sringham dalita hiranyakasipu dhanuvringam kesavadrita narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hare jaya jagadisha hare. So what is saying? Oh my Lord, your hands are very beautiful like the lotus flower, but with your long nails you have ripped apart the vast Hiranyakasipu. Unto you, the Lord of the universe, do I offer my humble obeisances. Hiranyakasipu was an atheist who denied the existence of God. But God came as Lord Nrsimhadev, a half man, half lion incarnation, and killed him. Therefore, praise is given to the Lord as supreme controller of the universe and all living entities. Jai Jagadish. Jai Jagadish at the end it is said. So that's why even though atheists don't agree, don't accept that God is present, but God is always present. Like Prahlad could see Lord everywhere, but his father would not be able to see everywhere. That's why when his father asked, is your Lord present in this pillar? Prahlad is seeing Krishna here. Prahlad is seeing Jagdish there. But his father was not able to see. So that moment, Lord appeared in the form of Nrsimhadev and killed his father. So in this way, we can know that we are at all times being controlled. And then this next prayer of Jagannaitha-svami, nayana-patha-gami, we will start next time from here. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta-vrinda ki jai. Is there any comments or questions?